Hello, welcome back to Graceful 40s. Brandy here, and I'm gonna just jump into this video, but one quick note. These top 10 practical frugal lifestyle tools or practices I'm gonna be sharing with you today. I've actually been testing out for 6 to 9 months. So I'm just going to tell you, these are the ones that have worked really well for me. And I'm hoping that if you're watching this video, they can work well for you too, but I don't wanna take too long, him and Han. So let's just get into the top 10 right now. So the first thing that I have found to be a very practical approach to reducing expenses, living frugally, and also not feeling like I'm missing anything has been, one, to stop buying books on Amazon, because that is something for me that I had to kind of outgrow. It took a few tries, but over the last 6 to 9 months, I actually got the hang of it. So going to the library for books has been a game changer, because anytime I want to go get a book to read just to like keep my mind sharp, because normally I'll walk for like an hour in the morning and I like to read while I'm walking or while I'm waiting in lines instead of picking up my phone, which is just like a good trade-off to reduce screen time. Going to the library, they always have like the new nonfiction or new biographies and stuff like that. So I am doing great with that. I even recently started going to the library before taking flights. So I'll take a book from the library on my flight when I am traveling, which is another great thing, because I don't necessarily want to sit and watch movies on the plane unless the flight is pretty long. So that's one thing. Go to the library. Also, if you want to go and print, it's 15 cents a print at my local library. Some places it's probably 10 cents a print. So you don't really have to have a printer necessarily, unless you want to, because I mean, if you can go to Kinko's or UPS store, or FedEx or something like that, it's usually kind of more expensive. But also, I mean, buying ink for a printer over and over again is an expense. And so unless you print all the time, it's just kind of not necessary. So go to the library for books and printing. Okay, so number 2, I find that something that's been pretty effective for me is no spend weeks. And something that has like, this is a bonus tip right here, hot off the presses. So to have a no spend week, what I found to be the number one helpful thing is to go grocery shopping one good time and live off the land for the rest of the week. So no matter what, I'm not going back to the grocery store until Saturday. So that means whatever I need, I just pray it up to God and ask him to direct me, give me his wisdom on how I can make it through the week, because I do not want to go grocery shopping more than once a week. Because if I go more than once a week, it creates a bad habit for me to not be as thorough as is ideal. And if I want to cultivate the skill of being frugal, it's helpful to have systems. Like there's a time and a place for things, and we just make it make sense as best as we can until we're back at time and place. Unless it's like an emergency or there's some outside dynamic that is like a life is lifing moment. But I've been pretty successful with that. So I have had pretty great no spend weeks as long as I go to the grocery store one time. I don't know how else those two fit together, but I think it's just like my mindset is pretty steady. So if I know I've gone for the week, I have what I need, then I'm not looking for things to buy. So I think that's a part of it. It's just like following the system. Okay, item number 3. Pay your bills ASAP or early when possible. And what I will tell you is I have been pretty successful paying my bills early or as soon as I can whenever they're there. Mind you, or maybe not, I don't have as many bills. I'll do a separate video, but basically I was able to reduce my expenses monthly by $400, $500. By just really assessing where my money was going. So that's a later video where I just like cut all the fat, and that has been a beautiful thing. So yeah, I would say paying my bills ASAP or early just helps my account to look like it really looks. So when I sit there and let bill money linger in my account, my mind will be like, oh, I got it. Girl, you don't have to have it. Let it go to where it's supposed to go. So like having a savings strategy has also been very effective. another hot tip, have a saving strategy for your paycheck, because I really do like, I haven't gotten to practice it yet, but it's one of my next adventures is zero balance financing or budgeting. So basically every dollar that comes in has a home and a place to go. So that way your account is really on task and there's no like confusion about what's going on with your money. But for me, the shorthand has been to pay my tithe, always first fruit. And then after that, I have generally been moving money over to my savings. And then there's a secondary savings where money goes. And then that tells me like my real budget. But honestly, I haven't been messing with it too much as far as like what I want to do next. So something I'm working on there is zero balance budgeting, which will probably roll out in the next month. And also I'm going to get into cash envelope stuffing too, because that looks fun and exciting. Okay, so now we pay our bills ASAP just so we can reflect what's really available in the account, see things more clearly, have that clarity, because when we have clarity, we make better decisions. So item number 4, I love this one because I could do this all day. And I mean, honestly, my kids are adjusting to it just fine. I thought they would give me more pushback, but this one is pantry shopping. So whenever I go grocery shopping, I'm literally looking in our pantry to see what meals I can make based on what we have, because I like to go down to zero waste, as close as I can humanly get. And how I grocery shop has also been effective with the goal of zero waste. So I rarely buy vegetables, like fresh vegetables, with exception to like a box of salad. I'll buy fresh fruit because we'll eat it. So like apples, bananas, oranges are our standard. And then for vegetables, I literally just get a box of salad. I don't even buy tomatoes anymore because I'm generally going to make a Caesar salad. So you don't really need tomatoes for that. But I'll eat the salad first. So that way I have my frozen spinach and broccoli in the freezer. So we still have access to vegetables that are fresh, flash frozen vegetables. But I'm not buying a bunch of like fresh vegetables because I would not prep them to cook them. And I'm not interested in building that habit because it doesn't feel necessary, because I can roast my broccoli, my frozen broccoli, and or roast my spinach, and that's fine. So we get our vegetables in. So pantry shopping is the move. Yeah, so okay. Item number 5, related to groceries. Because I'm only going to cook 4 or 5 times a week, that means it's going to be girl dinner leftover days. So like 2 days out of the week, I'll cook 4, maybe 5 meals. Then it's girl dinners. Like we're just going to eat, or girl and guy dinners when my kids are with me. We're just going to eat whatever's there and eat it till it's gone. And if they don't want to eat that, they're going to have to use their own spending money to go eat the types of food that they would prefer. I have teens. So my children are now at the age where they have spending money. One of my sons has like a couple, entrepreneur ventures. He does like a candy shop that he has, and he also does Facebook reselling. So he has a little bit of income he makes on his own. So if he doesn't want to eat the dinner I made, he's got to use his own money because there's food at the house. So I do try and make food that my children will actually eat though. So I'll say that. Okay. So girl dinners is like, what did I eat? The other day I had some leftover sweet potato fries I made in the oven, and I ate it with, I think like leftover fish sticks that had been sitting in the freezer forever. And I had like soup and then bread and butter because I had some of that in the freezer. So like just literally whatever I can find. But sometimes I'll just eat some trail mix and a smoothie and whatever else I can find that I feel like eating. But it doesn't have to match. I don't care. I just want to eat food that tastes good. It could be a combination of anything, all the things. But that has been effective to get to zero waste when it comes to groceries, because all of my money, I'm going to eat and not waste my money as best as I can. And teach my children this by habit and demonstration. Okay, so next up, item number 6, project pan, which you may have heard of, but basically using all of your products until they are done. So for my hair care stuff that I've already bought, using it up, having my sons use it too, like leave-in conditioner, stuff like that, where, you know, you got to test things out sometimes, but also like honing in on like what are my go-to products, knowing my staples. So for my hair, I'm a soap maker as well. So like something I do as like a hobby is I used to have a apothecary, but so like I'm pretty sure I have like shampoo bars. So if I really needed to, I could use those. But I do like keep shampoo, like that's not too bad of an expense. But like all of our body soap, I just make it and then I'll have tons of it, so we don't run out. And you can actually take soap, shred it up, and make a laundry soap when you mix it with borax. And I forget there was another ingredient, but like you can make your own laundry soap if you really want to, and bulk that out. So let's see, project pan. So also like hair products, makeup products. I have tons of like lipstick and stuff that I've invested in over the years. I'm still trying to use those up, so that's a journey, but it's going. Also toiletries. So like whatever I have, I need to use it to zero waste is the goal. Okay, so also okay, so going on to item number 7, DIY products. So for me, I have been thinking about, well, what are the things that cost me money that I need to keep buying over and over again? For me, it tends to be like some things I don't have to buy and I could just make. Some things I can buy because it's just more of a convenience. So for me, something that I'll just buy because I haven't figured it out yet is yogurt. I don't know how to make yogurt from scratch. All of my test batches have not worked out. So that is still on my to figure out someday list. But some things that I have been able to figure out is a deep conditioner. I know how to make a really, really great DIY deep conditioner for my hair type that is very moisture rich, protein rich, and successful. My hair loves it. We ain't got no problems. It's amazing, and it's super, super affordable. Because if you go to the store trying to buy a natural hair deep conditioner, it's gonna run you $10 minimum, $10 to $15. But my deep conditioner for the month is probably, let's see, $3, $7 for 4, and I deep condition my hair every week. So like if I were to buy a deep conditioner from the store, I would probably get 2 to 3 uses at best, 3 if I'm like sparingly applying, but I have thickish hair. It's like fine, but a lot. I don't know how to explain it, but my conditioner recipe is very much low cost. I'll just put it like that. So it would cost me $20, but for me to make it at home, it's probably about $7. So for the month, so 20 versus 7, I like that. That works for me. Plus, it's actually effective, and that's the bigger deal. It's like something that really, really works well, being less than 50% of the cost. Hey, that's all right with me. So all that to say, making DIY products for my hair. I'm also working on a really good and simple leave-in conditioner. So working on that. And then I also am good with skincare. So I just use Project Pan, use what I have to completion, and or like some of my skincare, it just lasts a while. So whatever I buy, some of the things can be DIY products, but also if I buy it, it's gonna last a while, or it's a staple product that works really well and it's still affordable. So those are some of the like rules for like my skincare. I don't buy skincare products that are terribly expensive, but I am focused on the ones that are most effective, low cost, and or if it's one that I can easily make myself, then I might, depending on, because I also want to live frugally, but I don't want to live to the point of not enjoying my life and having some flexibility in my budget for things that I do feel are more about quality of life or quality in general. So I can still invest in those things, but knowing when and what is like game changing, because I was just all over the place before, too much. I wasn't like clarified down to like these are the things that work really well for you, your household, your family, all the things. So things are going great. Okay, so item number 8, to have a master or staple grocery list based on what we actually eat routinely. So I have been developing a master grocery list, a staples list of like, what do we eat to the point of zero waste? What will my children eat week after week, or if we rotate bi-weekly dinner plans? Because for breakfast, we're gonna have like granola bars, yogurt with fruit, or cereal. So like, I don't really cook breakfast during weekdays. I cook on the weekend if my kids are with me and they want me to make breakfast, then I'll cook. Other than that, breakfast and lunch is like, you know, cereal, yogurt parfait with fruit, or like whatever, a granola bar or something. But for lunch, we have stuff to make sandwiches or salads normally, or just eat leftovers. So like, there's not a lot of extra grocery shopping. So I primarily shop for like 4 dinner meals and then like some staples for breakfast and lunch that are pretty simple to like consistently work with if we're hungry. Also some basic snacks and that sort of thing. So I do have a separate video coming up on like, I guess like other things that have really calmed my bills down quite a bit, like strategies. So I'll share that in the next video. Okay, so we talked about the staple master grocery list based on what we actually eat to zero waste. Very successful. So in my household, we will eat spaghetti, we will eat tacos, we'll eat soup, we'll eat roasted chicken with veggies and like a coconut rice, very easy. We'll eat rice with like a taco bowl. We'll eat potatoes, potato nachos, or like we eat a lot of like tacos. Sometimes I've tried off and on to make like DIY pizzas, but I'm still working on a good store-bought crust. So if you have any ideas, please let me know. I might try and figure out how to make one from scratch, since sometimes I'll do some bread baking as well. But it's a journey. We're getting it. Okay. So item number 9, this has been really clutch, and this is for me, and I think it works for parents of smaller children and parents of teenagers. I'm not sure about that like tween season, or maybe it also matters like the way you parent your children. So if you're a type of parent who helps your children earn money, then this can work. Or if you have children where they're not necessarily expecting you to spend your money, so younger children don't really worry about it in a like, hey, I really got to have kind of way. They will ask you for things, but you can tell them no. So here's number 9, telling my teens they are responsible to have their own spending money. My older son has 2 entrepreneurship adventures he has. My younger son is able to earn money between myself and his father at his will. He hasn't been asking to earn money from me. I think he just asks his dad. So that it is what it is. So this has been very helpful, because before, my children had a habit of asking for last minute items like, oh, I'm hungry right now. Can you take me to fast food place A, B, or C? No, we have food at the house. So if you have fast food A, B, or C money, then I can drive you over there. But that is the extent of my commitment to this last minute task. So for me, as a parent, I've been trying to teach my children how to communicate with me where we're not in a last minute cycle. I have 2 boys. And I tend to be saying a no thank you if it's last minute, or if it's not something that is essential, or if it doesn't fit in the budget, because my kids are old enough to kind of handle these things at this point. Babies don't really ask for things in the same way, but I think if you don't give your children money to have and steward themselves, then this may look a little different. I'm not sure. You can put a comment below if there's some sort of way that you make that work, because I only know what's working for me and hoping that this can be helpful. Okay, so the last thing that's been pretty clutch is one, to avoid heat and AC use. And this one is very popular. You turn the oven on when you cook, and just like when the oven's done cooking, doing its thing, you just leave the door open, get a little of that oven heat through your home. I don't live in a very large apartment, so I think that's also nice. I just like to live cozy since I'm a single mom and sometimes I'm just by myself. So I personally like to live in a very small space just because it's cozy and feels safe to me. I wouldn't want to live in before I lived in like a 4-bedroom townhouse, and that was too much to do. So also I live in Arizona. So in the summer when it's like 120 degrees, we're gonna have to hit that AC one time. But I try and time AC use for like the hottest part of the day, and we have fans. So that's how I handle that. And then the AC will be on at night because I can't sleep through the heat. And even then I'll have it on the higher setting versus the lowest. So I'm trying to be very conscious about AC use. And then we're currently in the winter seasons, or during the winter season in Arizona, there is a space heater, a small one, not big, because you can wear a sweatshirt, you can put on a bathrobe or wear a blanket, whatever. But a little space heater, just because the apartment I live in has a fireplace. I have a cat and I have teens, and I just don't trust that between the 4 of us, we would be air proof. So we're gonna rock it out with space heaters. And if we need to, I haven't gone through a full Arizona winter yet, then I might get some electric blankets. But we just gotta like see what this is looking like. But Arizona so far, as far as like late November, it's 70 degrees, but that 70 gets kind of cold if you're used to like the 90s, 100s, because your body just acclimates to wherever you live. So it's still cold these days. So I actually will stop right here because I have another video I'm going to do where I'm going to talk about how I slashed my bills, brought my expenses down $500+ probably 1,000 if we count like the move to Arizona, because that a lot better financially speaking. So okay, I just hope that this video has been helpful. My channel is now including Frugal Living because I have a goal, and I'm going to do this in the next 2 to 5 years. I'm going to be paying off my student loans. So I have a lot to say about building systems for frugality. I'm going to be talking about paying off my student loans maybe once a quarter just to keep hope alive, and enjoying natural hair on the channel and faith, because those are the things that are really prominent for me now. And who knows, the season after these things settle could be something else. But for now, this is what the channel's about. So I hope that this has been helpful. Leave your tools and tips in the comments. What do you do to practice frugal living? Have you tried it before? Do you love it? Are you trying to sort it out? Any wins? Share them in the comments below. Thank you so much for stopping by to watch this video. I will catch you in the next one. Be sure to subscribe and give this a thumbs up. And if you don't mind, just leaving a little heart emoji if you've made it to the end of the video. I appreciate it. That way I can thank you personally for stopping by and spending time with me and making it to the end of the video. But also, when you leave a comment, it helps this video to reach more folks who may be looking for this kind of content. So thank you so much for supporting the channel and being here and spending some time with me. I will catch you in the next episode. Bye.